So the time at 6:30, we'll call the work session of the mayor and council for the city of Snellville, Georgia for Monday, November 26, 2018 to order. First, we'll go over the regular meeting, which there's not much on our agenda. So we have Mel Larkins from Eastside Medical
Yes.
is coming, and the ROTC is not.
No, they have a scheduling conflict, so we've asked Matt if he would, Matt Zarek.
Okay.
He would lead the pledge.
Do we need to print that out for you real quick?
Cue cards? Your name.
We've got the minutes, couple of reports, and then really we have the contract for the purchase of property, which we'll talk about in exec session. And then we've got the memorandum of understanding for the senior services congregate meal program.
I don't understand.
This tracks the discussion that the county and Lisa had, I guess was it the last work session?
Yeah, the November 12th.
Roger, it is the use of the Betty McMichael room over at the rec center for a congregate meal program. Probably 20 or 25 seniors at 3 days a week. There will be some programming beforehand, and then they'll use the facility for the meal service.
This isn't
This is
the
the,
one guy that presented about the bomb thing.
Yes.
Yes.
This is that, but this is just saying that they're gonna
not the
basically.
bond.
Not the bomb.
No, not the bomb. There's the other, different item on there.
Okay, so
This
this
is-
is saying that they're gonna use the facility basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no charge to us.
No cost to us.
Yeah.
It's the
They just-
Gwinnett Senior Services that's doing it, and they have a program, so it's an application process, so they know the people that are in the program. Gwinnett provides some transportation, they bring them in, do assessments, and then lunch and some programming and stuff, and then they take them all home. They just need space, they're out of space where they are. So they're using space now at Grayson, their senior building. And then they've had the program for a long time at the Centerville Library down there in the community room. So that program will still continue, but they've just been looking for other space, so.
It's a lot more need there.
So this will allow them to serve more people in this area. So that is all that is, and then that's it for the meeting. So we'll go on to the work session. Any correspondence?
We have correspondence, but it's for the executive session.
Okay.
We have a couple of executive session matters. That's it.
All right, Butch, the new Parks and Recreation consultant.
We do not have a consulting engineer for Parks and Recreation, and several things are on the future agenda, such as updating our master plan, the potential for the construction of a rec center, which is the next phase of the current master plan. And so what I'm doing is I'm interviewing about 6 or 7 different firms, and I'd like to bring the top three back to a committee to review and then make a recommendation to the council. I just wanted to let you know that's taking place now. So we can start working on updating that master plan after the first of the year, and carrying on whatever vision the mayor and council has for Briscoe and other parks and recreation needs in the city. So.
Anybody have any questions on that? All right, and then update on the ongoing projects.
Because of the holidays, it's kind of a little bit slim, but several important things. Town center progress, I do have several executive session items to go over, but we are still making progress there. You see that new development agreement draft was received just today, so it has not been reviewed. The Market Library progress, a lot of discussion at the Friday, November the 16th charrette. A lot of follow-up from that. We're still working with the county on parking deck, library connections, several things there. We hope to have some input from them, but that also deals with part of the correspondence for executive session. Marketing Snellville, just one thing I wanted to point out. We had a beautiful day the Saturday before last, and we had a car show at Briscoe that attracted well over 50 vehicles, 50 owners, and had a good crowd, not just them and their families, had a lot of interested people there. And I think we learned how to do kind of joint events. We had a lot of soccer folks who migrated over to the car show, and there was also I guess a flea market, if you will, a garage sale, big yard sale where we had about 15 vendors. It was just a beautiful day and a big turnout. So that's something that we hope to carry on into 2019. Town hall meetings, really no change there. The UDO work is still progressing between the staff and TSW, Caleb Rossico. We continue to give input. Caleb works it in. Roundabout construction, I actually have had positive comments about the new roundabout. It's not even close to being done, but people are recognizing how traffic is moving faster through there. So I can't wait till we get both of them done and open. But weather has obviously been a problem on the completion date. So they're looking sometime, hopefully early in December. 78 and 124, once again, the weather's affecting that construction project, but they continue to slowly move towards Main Street.
Note that we got a note today from Roger, just for information purposes. It looks like the project will finish the end of October 19th. In case everybody asks.
Oh, wow, okay.
The end of October of 19.
The 2017 SPLOST, we have a review before the SPLOST committee, the county SPLOST committee on December 12th. We'll have a complete update after that. No change, higher education outreach, comp plan progress. Once again, the public open house went very well. Jacobs is finalizing the document. We should get it when, Jason?
This tomorrow or Wednesday for sure.
Okay. Let's get that out to everybody for their review. Ordinance development. I think this is something we need to discuss at our retreat. Things that we're looking for in the future. We've got a moratorium. Maybe we discuss some specifics about addressing that. SDS negotiations, the chief and I, we're going to meet with Randy Meacham on Wednesday for lunch to kind of dig into where that stands and what the progress is there. We'll report back on December the 10th. And long-term planning is just one of those things that is ongoing. I'll have a kind of a draft outline of a budget for you shortly. Any questions on these items?
Anyone? Okay.
We do need that executive session.
Exec session. Anybody have anything else? As a group?
I have one thing I wanted to, Barbara, I talked to you about this already, and I talked to Gordon Mayer today. This was one of the things I was hoping we can talk about at our retreat, but you'll recall maybe last year at the retreat, I brought up the thought about an ordinance banning local pet stores, the sales of dogs and cats. And Atlanta recently passed a similar ordinance, and there's several other Georgia cities that have done so. Atlanta did it, which is what I'm interested in, is a preventative measure, because I don't think at least I personally would not like to see our pet stores obtain dogs and cats from puppy mills or whatever and then sell them. So anyway, I just brought an article along for you to read before we have our our retreat, so that, just to give you a little background information, to see if it's something that y'all are interested in.
Think about it. Is there anything else?
Well, the other thing that I told you I wanted to talk about at our retreat too, and I need to talk to Jason about this, is I've had some people that have contacted me about wanting to, about having chickens in their residential lots, also beekeeping. They want us to relax our current ordinance that we have for that. And so I need to talk to Jason to see what y'all are thinking about
Right
for the
now,
UDO, but,
Because we've heard a lot of the same things as well from a lot
Yeah.
of different citizens. And our initial thought was just kind of mirror what the county was doing. When they allow a certain amount up to a certain square footage, you could be more restrictive, less restrictive. But it's something that's definitely becoming more and more popular. It's something we spend a lot of time on in code enforcement. The chickens are there one day, they may not be there the next, and we're out there a lot for those complaints. And literally,
They're in the yard one day, they're on the
Yeah.
table the next.
well, it's just something I told Gordon again today that that's something I wanted to put on the retreat to see how we all felt about it. I'm not sure I want to mirror the county
Yeah,
ordinance.
I mean, that was just kind of
Yeah.
the starting point.
But, and some of the people that have contacted me live in Hickory Hills, and y'all might wanna ask some of your neighbors
Yeah,
how
I've heard a
they
few people too.
feel about it, so that we can,
They've wanted it for years. When
yeah.
I was campaigning, people would bring it up. but
yeah, well,
talk back then.
so that's just another, something I wanted to talk about at our retreat, and I just thought I'd give you a heads up, so maybe if,
So then, I mean, I think Jason, they were already planning on putting it in the UDO. But, so the question in the discussion at the retreat then will be, do we want, what standards do we want?
Yeah.
Do we want what the county has, or do we want something different? So,
I think you could probably set it up to where some of these 10-foot lot places, I mean, those are probably not good places to have chickens next door. You could probably set the minimum, yard size a little bit higher. Gwinnett has so many more parcels to deal with. Their fit's probably not our fit. And then some of those places like Hickory Hills or, even some of the larger lots, I mean, you locate them away from the property lines, they're clean, and then you limit no roosters, and you've got a couple of egg-producing hens. I mean, I don't think that's a big deal. I don't think that would bother people. Just another enforcement issue. And then you gotta make sure the cages are clean. You gotta make sure they don't have 20 chickens.
right, make sure
So
they're
the
all three.
enforcement issue is always kind of
Yeah.
gonna be there, but they're usually not a problem until somebody's complaining, and they're only complaining mostly because they've seen them.
I just didn't want to spring it on everybody at the retreat, and then y'all think, oh, I don't know, I just thought maybe if you wanted to get input from some of your neighbors, or give it some thought, then gives us a little time.
Yeah, because that has to be done as part of the UDO too.
Right.
Well, and Jason, I know you've sent it out before. Can you send it out again, the county ordinance, so that if everybody has time, if you can kind of read through it and circle the requirements that are in that current ordinance, which is the county's, and then we can just be able to just jump right off and discuss what we want to do.
Yeah.
Chuck's looked at some ordinances around and has a draft of one too, we can share with
Okay.
you if you want it.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah, other cities, counties are different than cities. County ordinances are a lot different.
If chickens get loose, who's responsible? Do we have chicken posses?
We do.
We can
not
add
only-
that.
You better call Mr. Choate.
Okay. With that, during the work session of the mayor and city council of Snellville, Georgia, Mayor Pro Tem Bender announced that certain matters should be discussed